I'm sitting there meditating. Ooh, this baby beautiful. So I run, dude. That's so ain't no way. That's just a shirt. But bro, sitting out here meditating earlier. I was trying to get grounded, and I started receiving messages like I was just kind of thinking to myself, like maybe this will help somebody out. Or if you got an idea, bro, just go for it. Like you got that idea for a reason. Think about it. Where do your thoughts come from? Where is a thought before it reaches you? Right? I believe these thoughts exist as energy in the field. The quantum. That's not what I came to talk about. Bro, I had so many videos, ideas. Like I have video ideas, or I channel certain information to deliver and give to the, and certain shit, like I would take too long, bro. Like I would have an idea and I wouldn't act on it. And I'd come on Instagram like a couple days later, a week later, and I'm seeing the idea or the concept that I received being talked about. And after some time, like my ego would make me think like, oh man, that's supposed to be me. I was supposed to do that. So I would beat myself up and create a negative feedback loop. I feel, I could be wrong, but instead of changing my action, act on it the next time. So that's why I get a download and I come to my phone immediately. But I was sitting out here meditating. And I was getting on my ass. Like I have songs, that people haven't heard. I have poetry that people ain't heard. I feel as though I'm robbing people of that experience. Like there are certain songs that brought me out of depression, or that helped carry me or ease me down that whatever stream of consciousness I was on at the time, that I needed to reorient myself. Or, whatever it looked like. Shit. Sometimes I wanted to sit in that sorrow, throw myself a pity party. That's okay too. Like these days, it's just, look at, if you take anything from this, you're not having an idea for no reason. You don't want to create that business for no reason. That may be something that you're intended to do. $4:11 on the timer. And because I find when I think of 411, I think of service. I be seeing a lot of ambulance trucks. M-serve. Or A and E, those letters can be used interchangeably. So, am-serve. Like, it's like spirit reminding me, or it's like the universe reminding me to be of service. That's one of my purposes here. Which is no coincidence that my life path number is a 6. If you ain't study life path numbers, type life path calculator on Google. You'd be surprised what you find. You're gonna look at your life path and probably think you're gonna be thinking like, damn, it sounds like me. I was talking to my brother the other day, standing outside. It's like, isn't it strange? Isn't it cool how people were out here literally watching the stars? Like, bro, just think about it, bro. Like, these guys were literally looking at the stars, just chilling, and come back out the next night and this star was over here last night. And come out there a week later, and that star you were observing has moved over here. So this observation, which I realize is really key whenever it comes to nature. There's so much happening, but you only see a fraction of it. So observation is key. But just it makes me feel away when people talk about astrology because they have no idea. But it was meant to be that way. It's not by accident. Like, people made it seem like it was woo-woo, like just out, like far out, instead of teaching the people that it was ancient science. These people built systems around these certain schools of these certain concepts and nature, just observing nature. Think about it. If you observe a star system moving throughout the year, you're probably gonna ask more questions. So they developed that system. The planets. How do I explain this without sounding woo-woo?
Making sense. I can't even listen to Pokemon. You making sense. I come to you.
Hey, salute, man, salute. But these are different schools of thought, right? And my brother Luke says he practices circumology. I didn't know there was a name for it until I found his page. So shout out to B-Dale. But bro, like circumology, numerology, psychology, religion. You study these different schools of thought, you study different things that allows you to come to your own truth. Because people talk about God and the universe, but collectively, the truth of God is we come together to create what is known as God, or in other words, the universe, because God has a lot of rules. God is that other guy, and I don't, hey, I might lose a fight. Hey, it is what it is, baby. But I like to say the universe because God in my reality, because of that religious indoctrination, that word has a negative connotation, even though I'm knowing that it's the same force. These words are powerful. That's why they say in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, and the Word was with God. Okay, in the beginning was the Word. I want you to take a breath for a second. So that sound that comes out is ha, ha. I believe this is why in Jamaica or Rastafari they called, or they identify the Most High as Jah. Yahseh. Right? Ha, ha, ha. Yahu, ha. Right? Yahuwah translates in Arabic or Aramaic to I am that I am. And if you don't watch The Prince of Egypt, because life imitates art, and art imitates life. So these movies, I like to use these movies a lot whenever I try to explain certain spiritual concepts. Moses asked the Most High, what God should I tell them is talking to them? I feel as though it was the universal intelligence itself speaking to him. It says, tell them I am that I am. When Moses asked, the force or the intelligence that was speaking to him, what was his name? What God should I tell them that I'm speaking for? God said, I am. Tell them I am. 1:44 on the timer. 10:44 on the time. You can't make this up. All praise, man. That's why God is with. I was asking Zell earlier. Last night. I asked the kid. Even the kids know. See, the kids are tapped into the spiritual realm. I asked this nigga last night. I said, so is that outside of you, or is that inside of you? No, I said God is. I said Jesus is right here. Jesus is in here. He said no, Jesus is in here. Which I was gonna do that at first. I was gonna point to his chest like Jesus is in here. And he told me, because I corrected my own self and was like, no, Jesus is in here, because Jesus is your subconscious, and God would be your superconscious mind. So that's why they say God can't forsake you, because God can't forsake you. The universe is everywhere. The universe doesn't work against itself. They taught our brain is so powerful. That's why we have so many attacks on our mind, in order to program us to think in certain ways. So they wanted us to use our power against ourselves, to look for a savior outside of ourselves. Whenever the Most High, Jesus told them, hey, baby, ye are gods. Because he realized this about himself. So Jesus was pointing the way for him, being a beacon. And he told his disciples that they were going to change his word and flip it to fit a certain narrative that it wasn't originally intended for. Jesus was chilling with the thugs, the prostitutes.
Everybody.
Man. Yeah.
The Poe.
Yeah. I feel as though he didn't see no separation. He was like, man, that's me. Huh? What's up, man?
You going tomorrow? I ain't going to.